There's a quote that says, "The words you speak become the house you live in." Every word we speak is like a brick, building the walls around us. The question is, are you building a house of strength or a house of limitation? Welcome back to Level Up Your Mind. I'm Daniella, and this is episode 2 of my reboot series. Last time, we talked about how action shifts the mind. Today, we're going deeper, because the words we use shape not just how we think, but how we live. There was a time I didn't even notice how negative my self-talk had become. I'd say things like, "I'll never figure this out," or "I'm just not that type of person." And without realizing it, those words became my reality. But when I started changing my words, even a little, everything shifted. Instead of saying "I can't," I began saying "I'm learning." Instead of "I'll never," I said "I'm becoming." And those small shifts built a different kind of house, one where growth was possible. And it's not just about how we speak to ourselves. The words we use with others, especially our children, matter deeply. Think about it. When a child only hears what they did wrong, but rarely hears what they did right, those words build their house too. They start to believe they're only as good as their mistakes. But when we balance correction with praise, when we call out their strengths, we build them a house of confidence, not fear. Our words are seeds, and the soil is the mind of a child. The harvest depends on what we plant. So here's the truth. Words aren't empty. They're builders. They shape our identity, our mindset, and even the energy of our home. If you constantly speak doubt, you'll live in doubt. If you speak possibility, you'll live in possibility. That's why we must mind our words, because the house we live in tomorrow is being built with the language we use today. Here's my challenge for you this week. 1. Pay attention to your words, especially the ones you say to yourself. Catch one negative phrase you repeat often and rewrite it. For example, "I can't do this" becomes "I'm learning how." "I'm not good enough" becomes "I'm growing every day." 2. If you're a parent, or even a mentor, teacher, or friend, make it your goal to speak life into someone this week. Notice their effort. Praise their growth. Show them what love sounds like. Remember, the words you speak become the house you live in. Build carefully. Build with intention. And build with love. Thank you for joining me on this episode of Level Up Your Mind. If this message resonated with you, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs the reminder. And don't miss the next episode, Mindset to Manifest. Until then, mind your words and watch how your world begins to transform.